Now this one turn. You want to put bets on it? I bet 7-0. Okay. That's okay.
Okay. We're now reconvening in open session. The time is now 9:15 p.m. Sorry? No action was taken. Sorry, thank you. Do I have a proposal for findings and a resolution regarding this case?
Yes, Madam President. I move that the board adopt the following findings and resolution. Whereas on April 2nd, 2015, the Spring Branch Independent School District, Spring Branch ISD, received a petition requesting that certain property known as Thornwood Section 2 and Thornwood Section 3 be detached from the Katy Independent School District and annexed to Spring Branch ISD. And whereas the Spring Branch ISD Board of Trustees held a hearing on the petition on July 28, 2015 to consider the educational interests of current and future students in Thornwood Section 2 and Thornwood Section 3 and the affected districts, and the educational, economic, and social effects of the proposed boundary change, and the statutory sufficiency of the petition. And whereas the Spring Branch ISD properly posted notice of the hearing pursuant to Texas Education Code sections 13.003E and 13.051G in each of the 7 election precincts located within Spring Branch ISD, not later than the 21st day before the hearing. And whereas the Spring Branch ISD properly published notice of the hearing in the Houston Chronicle not earlier than the 30th day and not later than the 10th day before the hearing. And whereas at the hearing on July 28, 2015, affected persons were provided the opportunity to be heard on the petition. And whereas the Board of Spring Branch ISD hereby adopts the following proposed findings of the petitioners, which shall be attached and incorporated herein as Exhibit A. Petitioners' findings 1 through 3 and the exhibits referenced in them. And whereas the board hereby adopts the following proposed findings of the Spring Branch ISD administration, which shall be attached and incorporated herein as Exhibit B, numbers 1 through 40, with number 25 amended as discussed, and attached exhibits. Whereas any proposed findings by either party not specifically adopted above are rejected, and therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Spring Branch ISD finds that the evidence that has been presented to the Spring Branch ISD Board of Trustees regarding the educational interests of the students residing and the future students expected to reside in Thornwood 2 and Thornwood 3 and in Spring Branch ISD and Katy ISD, and the social, economic, and educational effects of the proposed boundary change does not justify detachment of Thornwood Section 2 and Thornwood Section 3 from Katy ISD and annexation to Spring Branch ISD. Number 2, the Board of Trustees of Spring Branch ISD finds that the petition does not meet the requirements of Section 13.051E of the Texas Education Code. Number 3, the Board of Trustees of Spring Branch ISD finds that the petition should be denied and rejected. Lastly, I move that the board authorize the administration to incorporate the findings as listed and prepare a clean, final typewritten version of the resolution to be executed by the board president.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
So moved by Karen Peck and seconded by Catherine Dawson. Do we have any discussion?
I'd like to make a few comments.
Okay.
First of all, I know that action like this, putting together a petition, requires a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of resources, and so I do appreciate the efforts made by the community, and I'm proud that Spring Branch is a place that neighboring communities would have an interest in joining. Part of this for me that I really struggled with, first of all, I appreciated Karen's comments on the taxable value and the economic piece. What bothers me is on the social effects and the community piece is that those who have taken advantage of the transfer opportunity, which we as a board know that that's very important to us. We welcome students from around who aren't living in our district to come to the district to benefit from the experiences that they can have here. And what bothers me is that those who are taking advantage of that transfer opportunity are not selecting the elementary school cited in the petition.
Wasn't open.
And
It wasn't open.
not open.
Plain and simple, wasn't open. So we had to go to our second choice.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, you know, that community piece is a struggle for me. Even more so, even more so, I'm knowing that there are 24 kiddos that did not agree to sign the petition. These kids might be in high school, they might be entering into their junior year, they might be active in many sports teams, you know, UIL, all-state at their high school and at their middle school, which they value. And I don't know that these kids don't have a community at school. And for me to, you know, making that decision on where 24 kids, you know, taking them away from a community and a school where, you know, I don't know. And that unknown is uncomfortable for me. But I do appreciate the work that the board has done. We've had a lot of thoughtful conversation. And I know we've taken our time to review this very carefully. So I appreciate, you know, the work.
Thanks, Pam. Yes, Chris.
So, Pam, thank you very much for those comments. I think that we all had similar feelings about the transfer policy that exists and our appreciation that that's an option for our many families in the neighboring areas and in the Thornwood community. What mattered, what you also noted was that I think we respectfully value all the time and the diligence that you put into this. And for that reason, we wanted to be very thorough in our considerations and to evaluate every element of it and to really recognize that, yes, this is a lot of work and a lot of love and heart in this work, but we, based on what we know and what was presented, are headed in this direction.
Chris, yeah,
Bob?
since we're making comments, I want to thank Pam and Chris for their comments. And I want to make it clear that every parent here tonight from Thornwood is welcome to move to Spring Branch.
You pay the difference then. You're welcome to pay the difference
Okay?
in the house.
You are welcome to move into the district, just like we did. I think it's just that simple.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous, Bob.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't think we need to have it go to that level.
Exactly.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. So we have a motion moved by Karen Peck and seconded by Catherine Dawson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion is passed 7-0. The result of the vote is the proposed findings and resolution are passed and the petition is disapproved. The board's findings and decision will be recorded in the minutes of the board and will be reported to the Harris County Commissioners Court. Notice of the board's decision will be mailed to the petitioner's representative, Mr. Melton, within 15 days. Except as it may be appealed to the State Commissioner of Education, the board's decision is final and not subject to rehearing. This hearing is concluded. The time is now 9:23 p.m.